we're not actually going to look at code for this one, and we're going to use skills that you've already developed. So I'm not going to show absolutely everything. For this one, we need to start getting ready the backdrop that we're going to use, as well as any sprites. So we're going to use these two sections down here. Still don't need the cat for this project unless you've put it in your design. Now, as much as possible, you want to stick to your original design. Okay, so it's the one that you have had feedback on, it's the one that you've made improvements to based on what other people have told you. Okay, so we're going to start off by creating the backdrop. Now, I'm going to create one myself, but for this project, you might also want to try looking at ones that already exist. Because if you can find a backdrop of a calculator or something that you want to put in the background, we've already got one. Now I'm looking for, it'll save us time as well, let's face it, I'm looking for one that would suit my calculator design, which was rather quite plain, but it was for primary school pupils. And I can put this as the backdrop and then have the calculator I design over the top. So let's take a look. Could have it as a nice plain hearts one, but I don't suppose it would suit everybody in that class. Forest one might work for it, because we don't want to put them in a classroom. They won't like that. Colourful city, doesn't look too much like Cardiff though. Boardwork on the beach. Now mine's very cartoonised, so I think it should be a cartoonised picture. Let's go for a forest. Oh look, I'm going to make mine nature. But I'm going to have to edit it, because a forest in itself does not match what I've put in my design. So if I want to change that one, I'm going to go to these backdrops and click backdrop at the top. Yeah. Now this is where the original one, which is blank, is. Get rid of that one. And this is where my forest is. Forest calc. Because I'm about to, I can put the whole word, makes more sense. I'm about to put on the top of this one what I want my calculator to look like. Now, the first thing I had was an orange calculator, so I'm going to find an orange I'm happy with. Nice bold one. And I'm not going to cover up too much of the background, because I want to still be able to see the forest. But I also want to make a big enough section that I can put all of my calculator information on. Now luckily, all my buttons and that sort of stuff, I can still move it around at this stage, so I might keep the left-hand side. Looks a bit better for me. I can put it as an outline, but I really want to be able to see it, so there we go. Done. Click off of it. I can't now move it around or change it. Right, I can still do undo though, so I can still get rid of it and the resizing of it and everything along those lines. So now I can't move it. That's where my rectangle for my calculator is going. So now I want to put in where I'm going to put my answers, and my screen was supposed to be grey or a dark bluish colour. Let's try that. That's going to be my screen. Okay. I'm not putting anything else on my background. Nothing at all. I'm just putting the basic layout of the calculator, because everything else, from the reset button to the numbers to the operations, which are your math symbols, they're going to have to be as sprites because I want to interact with them. I want to click on them in some way. So I am done with my backdrop. The buttons I create, I'm going through choose a sprite, which is the picture of the cat face, and I'm going to paint each and every one as a new button, as a brand new button. So I said I was going to choose green for these ones. Aha, nice green to go on that orange and stand out. It's going to take a little trial and error to make sure I get the right size, because I'm going to have to, on here, fit 1, 2, 3, and then some math symbols, and it's not going to fit if it's this big. So I might resize the button here instead of down here. I can always do this as the last resort, but this one means that all the lines will stay nice and safe and smooth because it's a vector. If I move it on here, it's going to move it on there as well. I'm going to try and keep it as close to the weird little circle in the middle as possible. Hey. Do I think this will fit in? 1, 2, 3, and some math symbols. Probably Might go a little bit smaller. Now if I wanted to test it, remember I can go to this button here and see it in full screen. That's plenty big enough for what I need. Yes. So my first button with some text is going to be a 1. Definitely don't want the colour green for my number 1. Yeah. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to draw each button individually. I am going to right click and I am going to duplicate it because 1, it'll start us zooming in. 2, I can change the numbers and I've still got the same size button. Whee! I don't have to keep checking the sizes of any of these whatsoever. Okay. I'm going to leave the rest to you. You need to create each button as an individual sprite. The backdrop should just be plain. It shouldn't show any of the buttons or anything that you're going to interact with. And yes, I did say reset button because we're going to have to put in the buttons that actually reset the entire calculator as well. Starting from fresh. Okay, good luck and over to you.